Hey everyone, thanks for visiting us. This is your Thursday morning forecast update. I'm meteorologist Josh Marcis here at arklatex and we are setting up to have a pretty typical August day as we'll see temperatures return to the low 90s. Did see that in quite a few areas yesterday, and the rain chance is a little bit lower for us. We're not dealing with any storms this morning, but potentially could see a few spotty showers this afternoon. Highs today 91 across the northern Arklatex, 93 Shreveport, and in the mid-90s south of Interstate 20. Not dealing with any thunderstorms this morning, so we're off to a quiet start across the region for the first time in a couple days here. And satellite radar showing the frontal boundary has now made its way completely out of here. It's down in the Gulf of Mexico, but still a bit of an unsettled pattern, even though we have high pressure building in. So there are some thunderstorms forming in Oklahoma. Not likely to impact us today, but we could see a few spotty showers later. And I've actually just upped the rain chances a smidge as we go through your Friday, and I will show you why here on Futurecast in just a moment. But getting you started this morning, another pleasant morning as far as the temperatures. We have dipped into the low 70s. As of right now, we're not seeing any fog set up, but just due to the recent rainfall, the cooler temperatures that we do have in place, I would be surprised if we see some patchy fog, maybe some visibilities down lower than 2 miles once we get to about sunrise this morning. Shouldn't be a big issue, but we'll probably see just a little bit of fog set up. And as of right now, winds are out of the northeast in most locations. The winds will switch around a bit today. They'll turn to the east, the southeast, and then back to the east. So generally, we'll see an easterly wind today, which will keep our humidity out of the ridiculous level, but we're still dealing with some high humidity here across the region. And your forecast highs today near normal. 93 is normal. That's where I have us in Shreveport. Should see a lot of mid-90s across East Texas. 94 in Natchitoches today. So no heat advisory, but your heat index temperature is likely pushing 100 degrees this afternoon. So this is the upper level. I want you to keep this in mind. There is this big ridge of high pressure that is going to keep expanding and keep building into the Arklatex as we go into your Labor Day weekend. I want you to remember that ridge because it will come in handy here in just a bit. Futurecast from Robbins Toyota today showing just a partly cloudy skies through the middle of the day. It does show a few spotty showers out here. I think that rain chance would probably be highest across East Texas if we did see anything, but probably not going to see much today. But mention that little disturbance that we saw out there on the satellite and radar a little bit earlier. There is the potential we could see some weakening thunderstorms move into the Arklatex at some point tomorrow. This is not the only forecast model. Of course, this is our in-house forecast model here showing this, but a few of the others are also showing this for your Friday, so I've upped the rain chances a little bit. And just kind of keep this in mind. A lot of the high school football games will be kicking off across the region tomorrow, 6-7 p.m., and Futurecast is showing a little rain out there, so you may want to be prepared just to have some of the rain gear at a few of those games, just depending on how this all plays out. But my expectation is most of the games will be dry Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and as we head into the weekend, we'll see maybe a similar chance for a few showers and storms early Saturday, but the weekend, Labor Day weekend, at this point looking hot and dry. So here's Hurricane Dorian. Latest advisory from the Hurricane Center has winds up to 85 miles per hour, and still fairly uncertain track here as it makes the turn to the northwest here. But one thing that stayed pretty consistent is the strength here from yesterday. They now continue to show it as probably a major Category 3 hurricane at landfall some point late this weekend into early next week. And what we're just kind of keeping an eye on here, everybody kind of tends to focus on the middle track there, but I like everybody to focus on the white cone because it does show that cone of uncertainty a little bit further to the south, which would potentially push it into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's why we're watching it so closely for you. But with that big ridge of high pressure that I mentioned and told you to keep in mind, at this point, that's probably going to keep that storm away from us. So even if it did reemerge in the Gulf, I would think at this point, just given what we're seeing in the forecast models, that it would probably turn to the north before it made its way towards any of the Arklatex states here. Of course, still a long way out. That could change, but I do think that ridge of high pressure is going to keep that storm away from us. The trade-off here is that we'll be dealing with some heat as we go into next week with that ridge of high pressure in place, likely drying out late in the weekend, early next week, and that means your high temperatures returning to the mid, even some upper 90s by the middle of the next week. So potential we could see some heat advisories come back, but humidity will probably stay in the dew points in the low 70s. That's what we've had out there yesterday, today. That's probably where the dew points will stay, and that's what will allow overnight lows to be fairly pleasant as we'll dip into the upper 60s and low 70s each night.